Guys, you want to just toss some questions at these guys?
What are you thinking? 2 blokes in one night?
Yeah, look, it's a big ask. I've come to terms with it now, though. I have been a little bit nervous about it leading up to it, and I still don't know who I'm fighting, what the order is. I'm not sure how that's going to be worked out. I think they're going to flip the coin. I don't know what they're going to do, but I was nervous about the break in between. I think a guy gets on a little bit like me in age. I'm worried about the stoppage, totally stopping, totally letting my hair down there, having to come back and fight again. But I've been training on it the past 2 weeks. I've just got my head around it now, and I'm ready to go.
Has your prep sort of changed much? Like, is it,
Well, it has changed in the fact that we've been training close together. So I've still done the same training, same amount of training, same sparring, same amount of pad work and running and cardio work. But rather than like doing one in the morning, one at midday or the afternoon, we've done it back to back. So I do one session, have an hour's break, come back to another one. So it has been a little bit tough, but I've got through it all and I'm ready to go.
Tony, you came out of your own brutal mess yesterday. You did insane or what?
Yeah, I really respect what Gal's done in our sport and in the sport of boxing. Like, go out and fight 2 blokes in one night's unbelievable, but it's quite a coincidence that he's fighting on Thursday, we're playing the Sharks, so I'll be back in Hodges to get the knockout. I think he's been training really well.
Yeah, Gal, what happens if like the unthinkable happens and you get beaten the first one, beat badly? Does the second one just is that cancelled or?
Well, like a lot of this, I've been a little bit loggerheads about a lot of it. I don't know, so you'd have to ask them. I'm not planning on that happening, obviously, but it is a risk without doubt, particularly in the heavyweights. We know one punch can change everything, but we'll have to ask the boys. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work, so I'm more concerned now Cody's going for Queensland, so that's probably the biggest issue about this whole thing.
Gallen, you're saying that you might walk away from the fight if you weren't given more details. What conversations did you have that sort of appeased you?
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough situation because the boys were obviously over watching Tai Tuivasa overseas, and I couldn't get hold of them until after Ty's fight, which is fair enough. They had more on their plate and more important things. But I did speak to them after the fight, had a good conversation. They told me the way it would work as far as the break goes in between, and that's something I had to get my head around. As far as the opponents go and who I'm fighting, what order, I don't know that. I still don't know that. But the break was the biggest issue for me. As I said, after a fight, you don't understand the euphoria and just the relief that it's all over. And to have to get back up again, that was the thing I was worried about. But as I said, I've changed my training the past couple of weeks, and I'm ready and prepared for it now.
George, how does it work if the unthinkable happens and Gal gets beat the first one?
Yeah, look, we'll be up in Brisbane later today, so we'll be announcing everything tomorrow at our press conference up in Brisbane. So you'll know all the breakdown of what could happen if X, Y, or Z goes wrong. Who'll be fighting first? Who'll be fighting second? We'll be able to announce all of that tomorrow once we meet Justin and Ben and work out who wants to go first.
Justin and Ben both been pushing to be top of the card.
Yeah, it surprises me. Look, if I'm in their shoes, I want to fight him second. I want to get him when he's tired. But both of them want to go first, so that's why we're at the dilemma that we've got, and we'll probably come down to a coin toss and see who goes first.
Who do you want, Gal?
I don't care. So I've got my head around the situation now, and I'm really not concerned. They're 2 different guys. One's long and lanky, and one's sort of not much bigger than me and short and stubby. So I'm not really concerned about who I fight. My preparation's not going to change. I don't have a different game plan for either of them. I just was worried about the break. That's my biggest concern. But I've got my head around that now. So who I fight first or second, I'm not worried about. I'm going to get in there, do what I've got to do, and get in and out.
Who's responsible for getting you back up for the second fight? You got somebody in there to give you a big rev
up? My trainer Graham Shaw's been my trainer since day one. So he's been great, and we know what to do. We've trained like that the past couple of weeks. So I've got no problem with that. And I think mentally, just myself, I'm pretty mentally tough, and I'll be right on the night, no doubt about it. And I just think everyone should get there and support them. It's Brisbane's only opportunity to have anything good go on at the back end of the season. They fell over the back end of the year rugby league wise, and everything up in Queensland's going up in Townsville now. So if you want to come and watch something, a bit of fun, and some people actually compete rather than just fall over. Come out Brisbane and support us.
Which of the 2 do you think is going to give you the tougher fight?
I think Benny Hannant's tougher. I do think he's a tougher guy. He's a front row who played at the highest level for a long time, played for Australia. So I think he's tougher. I think he's a tougher guy. But I think Hodges beat him in a fight, so Hodges probably got more boxing ability than him. But if I land on Hodges early, he'll turn up pretty quick, I think.
Talk about on the footy field, Gal. Do you think your Sharks need to channel a bit of your fighting spirit against Cody's Rabbitohs on Friday?
Well, no, I think they've got fighting spirit. I don't think that's an issue. They had a tough game on the weekend and went down to the wire. As we know, 90-odd minutes is a tough game to get back up for. But one thing about the South Sydney side and the Roosters rivalry, it's it's enormous. It's like a grand final, and they've had to do that 2 weeks in a row now. So, they've had to get up for big games too the past couple of weeks. So to do it again is going to be tough for them as well. The Sharks need to recover physically. And I think probably more the South Sydney side is probably more emotionally. So I think it's going to be a good game. Going to be very interesting as you can get up for it. But I'm back with my Sharkies. We know where my loyalty lies, and that's with the Sharkies, and it's going to be a great game.
Cody, is it hard to get up again emotionally?
Nah, definitely not. I love this game of rugby league, and playing at home at Allianz would be good again.
It was awesome to see.
Yeah. He's good.
It was awesome to see Latrell bounce back from the week before.
Yeah, it's obviously impressive young kid to achieve what he's achieved in the game at only 25, 26 years of age. It's pretty impressive. If you look at my journey, I wasn't even playing first grade at that age. So to see him bounce back and play the way he did was really proud of him.
And your mate Alex Johnson had a try.
He just keeps finishing them. He's an intelligent young boy. AJ, he just loves finishing tries and knows where to be at the right time.
Cody, in a pretty fiery battle, yourself and Latrell sort of kept you cool while everything's going crazy around you. Is that something you sort of talked about beforehand, about really trying to have that calm present?
Oh, I think both of us are aware that teams are going to try and either bait us or do that sort of stuff to us, and it's about us just being mature and not falling into that type of game and playing our style of footy. And I thought that's what we did last night and come away with a win.
Were you giving that message to the boys on the field when stuff was going crazy?
It's quite chaotic out there. Wasn't much you could do with 11 players on the field. You just had to get through your sets and try to hold the ball for long periods to try and get the boys on the field as quickly as possible.
Do you think this weekend gave you any indication of where things will lie? Like, it's a pretty brutal series, the Panthers and Parramatta game. So can you discount anyone?
I don't think you can discount anyone. It's crazy how the first week of finals had those grudge matches. I think every game was quite close and had that feeling towards it. So I think anyone can win it.
Gail mentions that it's not necessarily the physical but the emotional side of things that you need to get up for this week. Is there truth to that? Do you feel flat almost after 2 weeks against the Roosters?
I feel fine. I feel fresh. Obviously, the soreness after games, in your body at the moment, but we've got a few days now to recover and get ready for the Sharks. We understand that they're going to be hard to beat, and when we played them last, it was decided by a goal, so went to Golden Point. So we understand that it's going to be a tough ask, but we're going to be ready for it.
Charge sheets out, mate. Tom Burgess facing 2 weeks with an early plea. It's a big loss.
Yeah, he's going to be huge for us. Not sure what they're going to do, whether they're going to fight it. So we'll see what happens there.
Gal, who are the middle forwards that you like in the current pack?
The Cronulla play. I like all of them. I think they're doing a good job, and obviously if Burgess isn't there this week, it only helps their cause. But I've got to be honest, guys. I'm loving what Cody said about playing at home this week. That was probably the line of the press conference about it now. But I've got to worry about a fight on Thursday night, and that's what I'm focused on. I'm totally focused on that. I mean, obviously we know where my loyalty lies this weekend as far as the Sharkies go, and I'll be there at the game. We'll be working at the game all day, so really looking forward to it. But I've got to worry about fighting 2 guys on Thursday night, so I'll worry about that first and talk about the footy after that.
Gal, can you take us through the initial question? Do you want to take part in 2 fights in one night? Like, how did that all come about?
I don't know how it came about. I think when they were fighting each other, they were sort of saying that they wanted to fight the winner. And they were both pretty vocal about it, particularly Hodges. And I sort of had a bit of a joke about it and said, oh, well, maybe I should fight both of us on the one night or something like that. I think I put on social media, and sure enough, the next day, Georgie's rung me along with Matt and said, do you really want to do it? And I said, oh, how can it possibly work, And they come up with the way it's going to work. They spoke to the Combat Sports Authority and they've approved it. So that's all happening. That's the way it is. And as the boys said, as Georgie said from the start, I'm not afraid of a challenge. My time in the sport is running up, and I'm getting over it all now. But I'm prepared to have this challenge and maybe one more at the back end of the year.
And the authorities have split with it. How did it go down at home?
That's part of the reason I'm retiring. Yeah, the missus has had enough, and I think I've got to put my family first. I've got 4 kids. My son, I do miss some of his footy games because I have to work and involved in professional sport. I miss his training a fair bit, so I've got to put them first at some stage. And been involved in professional sport since I was 18 years old. I'm now 41, so it's a long time. And I've had a wonderful time, done exactly what I wanted to do in rugby league, and I've probably achieved more than I thought I could ever achieve in boxing as far as who I fought. So yeah, I'm ready for a tall end.
All right, guys, that might do us. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.